What is up, everyone? Happy Friday! Happy Friday. Is everyone ready for the big guy to shoot down the chimney? I am so not. I still have so much to do. But first, I'm going to say hi to everyone. Let's see. I know we have Salty Nuts here. Nick was first. She beat all of you here. She was here before 8 o'clock in the morning. That is dedication. Hello, Mark, Dragon Spirit, John Cena, and Salty Nuts Tog. Hello, bitch. Hello. Wiccan Music, welcome. I got to see you on panel over at Mark's the other day, and you do have the cutest little voice. If you guys haven't heard Wiccan speak, totally need to check it out. The little giggle, everything. It's just the stuff dreams are made of. L. Kennedy, hello, Amy. BGE, Lickety, hey Libs, hope you're doing well. I know the weather is all up and down for everyone. Some people have said it's super cold and snowing. Yeah, it's nice here. Sorry, in my shitty ass area that I live in. Feels spectacular. There's like shit happening in the neighborhood. I'm sitting outside soaking up the sunlight because it's the little things in life that bring me joy. So there's like pressure washing going on next door, yard work across the street. It's a happening little place. I'm quite happy here. It's not really that shitty. It's quiet. We have the woods behind us, and at the end of my street, it's dead end. Amazing. Nobody bothers us. So yeah, still lots of Christmas stuff to get done. I like to decorate to the extremes, so I'm constantly adjusting and adding and taking away and fluffing this, and it's a never ending job, but I like to make it special for the kiddos because they grow up so fast. Hello, Truth Hurts, Cowgirl at Heart. Yeah, this is just kind of like a fly by the seat of my pants kind of thing I have going on today. Didn't really plan much. Gonna try to keep that damn momentum going, though, I tell you that much, because someone will get pissed if I do not. Maybe not pissed, but they don't like it. Doesn't meet their approval. Clip channels, lots of clip channels don't meet their approval either. Well, not lots, let's just say one. Which is weird. Like, it's not your channel, right? So really, at the end of the day, why do you care so much how we run ours? I'm going to go over there picking on you, telling you stop taking the long way around to every point you're trying to get to. Stop making 1,156 pit stops along the way because they have nothing to do with the point we're trying to get to. But, sometimes I just want to be nosy and see what's going on. So I suffer through it. Give a girl a break. I don't speak fast on purpose. Because what's the point of speaking like you're the micro machines guy if, you want people to hear what you're saying? You want to give people the opportunity to say, oh, I see what she's trying to say. But what I never was trying to say is that I'm like a maths genius or whatever the fuck. I'm not a numbers girl. But I do love a good budget. I love to save a dollar. And it's because of things like that that I'm not struggling financially. But hey, if you want to pay my bills, you can. And I'm not going to apologize for being the chick who chooses to teach her children about smart money management. My mom taught me, so I'm going to pass that along to my children because that's what a responsible parent does. No parent ever wants to have their children grow up and potentially ever be in a bind for things that are completely out of their control, like accidents, injuries on the job. I mean, to be quite honest, my son is in the mechanics industry. Anything's possible at his job. I have seen horrible, horrible things happen to mechanics while on the job. Why wouldn't I teach him how to be smart with his money? They don't teach it in schools anymore. They teach some people in the world that, excess is the norm, or that you can only find true happiness by the things you have. See, we're not the same. The way you and I think, we're not the same, man. And if I wasn't so happy in my life, now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that my life is struggle free. I struggle with things just like everyone else. I go through hard times. I have children. Of course, I worry and have things that bother me. I'm human just like you, bitch. But if I wasn't so happy, I might feel compelled to do things like come online every day and tell people they smell like a musty hot dog water, which is very childish. Because I smell pretty fucking good. Like, smelling good is a big thing for me. Like, I like my house to smell good. I like my laundry to smell good. I don't wear the cheap shit either. But I don't even eat hot dogs, so I can guarantee you that I am not dousing down with hot dog water before I leave the house. You can't have dollars if you don't have cents. And I completely missed the part where irresponsible habits became something to look down on someone about. Chocolate starfish? That just sounds so gross. I mean, whatever. If someone doesn't like me, this person doesn't like me, and it's okay. I am not everyone's favorite person in the world. And I think a lot of it is because, and we just talked about this the other day. It was so kind of you to give us all a visual, like the perfect example of exactly what I was talking about. Because yeah, I know. I was all about Limp Bizkit back in the day. I grew up in that time. Um, I don't even know if it's necessarily that you just don't like me. I think there's things about me that you might see in yourself, and that's kind of a hard pill to swallow. Because I swear, correct me if I'm wrong, but I am almost positive that just a month or so ago, maybe a little bit longer, you wanted me to share my wisdom and my way of thinking on this big, huge panel of the stars or YouTube women or whatever the hell it was supposed to be. I don't even really know what it was supposed to be about. All I know is I said, hey, this is when I can do it. You let me know. And then I never heard another word about it. I mean, it's cool if you want to just go live and just constantly dog me. I don't care. But I can tell you what you won't accomplish by doing that. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to give two shits what goes on in your personal life. It's not going to become a tit for tat game. with me, I am not going to change my momentum to suit your liking. I'm always going to be me, basically. Take it or leave it. If you would like to leave something, though, you can feel free to buy a membership. That would be cool. If anyone would like to send a little something, I have a new goal set. It's been a while since we have done an Ask Me Anything. That might be a good live for someone to get in on, if you know what I mean. Like, if you have questions, I'm going to have answers during that allotted time. Those are always fun, though. I get like some funny questions. I get some like extremely disgusting personal questions. So I just weed through and I pick out the fun ones and we just have a good time. Whether we are at a high speed pace or if we are taking our time. You never know. I might be extra slow that day. Not mentally, though. You seem to be under the impression that I'm an idiot. And I'm not. But you don't really know me, so how would you know that? I mean, I guess in your mind, you know me well enough to make all these claims and observations, which that's cool. Observe away. You were literally sitting there trying to get people like to dissuade them from me based on hot dog water and me talking too slow. See, I've been around for a while too, ma'am. And a lot of those people that were in your chat already know me. They know me from other communities. They know me from other things that I've covered. They know me because at one time they liked me too. A couple of them have realized, maybe I am just not someone they want to hang out with, but I'm not so bad after all. Because at the end of the day, I don't fuck with none of you. And that drives some of you absolutely bonkers. Is because I refuse to react the way that you want me to. I don't know what I did to you, girl. A couple of weeks ago, it was all good. A couple of days ago, even better, because you wanted me to provide you with something. Once again, I'll tell you where to find it. It's on my channel, on Andrew Hiltz's channel. You could probably get one of your new friends to tell you the story. Although I do think that some people are telling you incomplete stories or stories that are not quite right. Thank you, Skunk, for becoming a member. Thank you, L. Kennedy. I really appreciate that. I'm trying to scroll. Hey, Spicy. Keep doing you, CJ. Love you. I love you too, L. Kennedy. And you keep doing you too. You have a couple of different ways you could look at all clip channels. It's just, what is your purpose for going to a clip channel? Because we all have one. It could be because you don't have time to sit through an entire live, but you have heard whisperings about some highlights. You can find a good clip channel that provides all of that for you in one short little video. It's amazing. I don't always have time to listen to complete lives myself. Or I get distracted because I'll have an earbud in, I'm doing something else, and I just don't pay attention. Or it could be because you have questions about something, but rather than have to go sift through a whole video, people can anticipate what those questions might be, and then they provide you with the clipped answers with enough context to figure out what is actually going on. See, you have to understand something about what L. Kennedy does. She not only provides you a clip from the most current situation, but she will also, if there's a question that is brought up that happened months ago, she will go back and provide that clip as like a backup, if that makes sense. So I appreciate her work. She puts a lot of time into it. There are days that we don't see or talk to her for hours and hours and hours at a time. And it's because she is working on her content. There again, if it's not something you like, then just don't watch it. That's the beauty of free will. You don't have to watch or listen to anyone you don't like, especially when that person's not even on your radar because you have zero interaction with them whatsoever. I just find it hard to sit back and take criticism from someone who I don't think I have seen have one happy day anytime they go live. It's always a problem, an issue with someone, threatening someone. Like, I didn't understand, like, I don't know what point exactly YouTube turned into such a you will bend to my will or I'm going to do this to you type place. And it's like an ongoing thing. It's literally the song that never ends. And this business about being a stay-at-home mom. Okay, yeah, let's talk about that. That was a choice. You know why that was a choice? I will give you one guess because I have three answers to that question. And those three answers needed me to be available for them, for their activities, for making their dreams happen. That was more important to me at the time than a paycheck. But I can tell you that between the dance practices, the baseball practices, the soccer practices, the volleyball practices, the track practices, karate practices, dance classes, performances, award ceremonies, that was the most rewarding job I've ever had in my entire life. Drove me nuts most of the time because there just wasn't enough hours in the day and I was constantly pulled in a million different directions. But to see those kids develop their skills and learn how to work as a team and make lifelong friends and be exposed to the kind of things that really teach you lessons about how to be a good person on top of my daily things that I had to keep up with, right? The laundry, the cooking. Because, see, we don't do a lot of takeout in this house. One dinner a week. I cook everything else. So there's that. There's the dishes. There's the just hanging out with your kids and being present. I would never give up that job for anything in the world. So go ahead and make it seem like a bad thing. But you're not going to take it away from me. You're not going to minimize it. You're not ever going to make me feel bad about sacrificing for my children. So yesterday it was like, oh, was that your reaction? No, it wasn't, honestly. I had something completely different planned and I followed through with that plan. I just threw you into the mix. Apparently, books are a bad thing too. Goodness gracious, don't have an appreciation for an actual book over something electronic. That is a taboo in this day and age. I'm actually pretty good on the grill too. It's because I love to cook outside when it's nice out. Oh, don't get me wrong. Sometimes, like, I have ruined some things on the grill too. But I'm not a huge meat person anyway. But when I do like eat steak or something, it has to be super duper well done. I don't like any pink. I know that's weird and people are going to be like, are you crazy? I can't eat it if it's like that. It's because when I was pregnant with my oldest, like the smell, just anything meat made me sick as a dog. That was a struggle getting through that 9 months and being able to cook without freaking out. Ugh. Yes, being a mom is a blessing, even if you are a stay at home mom. Even that's a blessing. Does it make life a little more difficult? Absolutely. But if you do things like budget, then it makes it all worth it in the long run. And that's just my opinion. For fuck's sake, woman, I never said you had to think like me or agree with me. Oy vey. People are touchy. Didn't like that I told a story about my friend, although there wasn't a lot of, and she said this and I said that. The whole moral of the story went right over your head. And I'm not going to repeat myself because I am all about progressive thinking. I'm all about moving forward. How can I improve? What can I do to be less of an asshole today? These are all things one should be concerned with. That was the whole point I was saying. I just don't get it. Why create all these issues and tension between people when at the end of the day, it doesn't fucking matter? Did you sleep any better last night when you told me I smell like musty hot dog water? Did that really improve your life in any way, shape, or form? Because, hey, if it did, I will shut the fuck up. But I seriously doubt it did. I am the type of person that has a tendency that if something just is irrelevant to me or it doesn't bring anything into my life, I don't waste my time on it. I don't go out of my way to despise people I don't even know just for the fuck of it. Because also, at the end of the day, I really haven't done shit to justify you trying to come at me in any way. I have been nothing but kind and decent to you. But I don't know. Whatever. You don't like my friends. It's okay. I will never invite you to lunch with us because you don't like them. Nor do you know me or any of us well enough to know how we handle situations when Nick or anyone else does something that we might not approve of. You don't know. But because everyone has become so accustomed to everything having to be done in front of everyone. Maybe another thing you haven't noticed about me is I don't like to just have huge public confrontations and try to humiliate people. It's not my style. It never has been. I am a very fair and stable minded person. And a lot of this shit I just let roll off my back. Double standards. Give me an example of a double standard. Not my reaction to it, but you tell me of one situation that you know for a fact that I have different feelings about. Hey, MSB. Hey, Crimes. Maybe I'll drop a link. It depends on how long I feel like staying on here today. I mean, fucking A. 1 minute you're wanting me to message you, and the next minute you're coming all unglued about me. You just said a couple of weeks ago that you had no problem with me. I don't know. Maybe things change while you're sleeping. Whatever it is, it's just not that deep. And I've said it multiple times, so I don't really know what I could say to you on panel or not. Like, I don't know how any other way I could say it, that I do not condone any of the real life stuff, no matter who it's coming from. Doesn't matter. I can like the person or not like the person. If they have to go to those extremes, there's a bigger issue. And if there are situations where something does need to be done about someone, that they are a true, clear, and present danger, then there are ways to handle it. Just like with the situation the other day with the financial, like the potential financial fraud, financial abuse. In that situation, that was an appropriate way to handle it. But it had nothing to do with you. And it had nothing to do with me, which is so odd to me that right after that happened, and you made that as a point of contention, I had nothing to do with that. I mean, let's just break it down in a simplistic way. If someone commits a crime, you're going to hold that person accountable, right? If it was just that one singular person. So why is it any different on here? Like, I genuinely want to understand how that thought process works. I mean, maybe I'm the crazy one because I'm just too simple about shit. If there's someone I don't like, I just don't interact. We're all grown. We make decisions for ourselves. Okay, I have a question. Can you agree in your mind? Okay, I'm not even going to say, can you agree? Is it your opinion that if you dock someone who has minor children living in the home, do you consider that targeting minors? Nicolina was friends with Lips for a year, and that was after Nicolina and Lips had had ongoing problems. Like, we've all had ongoing issues with Lips. I am not above showing people grace and giving them an opportunity that when they say they have changed, to prove that, because we've all fallen short in our lives. We've all had to be given grace at some point and given the opportunity to improve. And if you're getting a sob story from Lips about all these horrible things that happened to her or all the horrible things that she was made to do, that's absolutely not true. Lips' hands are dirty of her own free will. I gotta scroll. Did you answer? Were you able to answer my question, Kaylee, about do you consider? I mean, answer that question first. Yes. In baby Jason's case, he was absolutely rescued. That was a rescue mission. Thank goodness that someone stepped in and saved that innocent newborn baby from having to grow up in a home where the mother, while still in utero, threatened to unalive the child and herself, along with a whole slew of other things. She never valued that baby's life. She didn't want it. She wanted nothing to do with it. She is unstable. Someone needed to step in and help that child. And last I heard, he is with a safe and loving family. And people who maybe thought they would never be parents got the opportunity to love a child and nurture it and watch them grow. So that's valid. That's not about targeting a minor. That needed to happen. My question is do you consider when you're doxing someone or you're putting someone's address and stuff out publicly and they have minor children in the home, do you not consider that targeting children by default? Nicolina absolutely did make a song about a 13-year-old. Is it something I personally would have done? No. But are you aware of all the things that were said and done prior to that regarding Nicolina's children by that man, that family, that 13-year-old included? Because a huge thing seems to be it's okay. The tit for tat thing is okay. So I think if it's going to be okay in one situation, it should be okay across the board. It doesn't matter where. But okay, maybe not in the UK, you don't have it. But if it is a family in the US and they have minor children in the home, do you not think that that is in any way putting those children in harm's way? Nobody's ever changed their mind about Jimbo. I mean, I think we've all been in agreement this entire time that what he did was crazy. But he, okay, right or wrong, according to the law back then, which none of us have any control over whatsoever, he was a minor marrying a minor, as weird and as creepy as that is. And I've told Jimbo this directly. As nuts as that is, the law said it was okay. I blame the parents. I mean, that's where it started. But also, because it was okay legally, there was no crime committed. He never reoffended or anything like that. Do I think it's okay he married a 12-year-old? Absolutely not. Am I going to like hold the man's feet to the fire till the end of the time? No, because I can't change what happened back then, nor do I even talk to him. He's like not part of my circle, so I don't give a fuck. He can stay away from me, I'll stay away from him. Easy peasy. I mean, I think that nobody should be targeting anyone's kids. But I'm also not shocked when someone does something and then someone reacts and does something just as nuts or, rude or however the hell you want to put it. Like, that doesn't shock me. I can't control what other people do. I can control what I do and the way I react to things. I'm trying to read comments. It's getting kind of chilly out here. What do you consider defending? Because, like, if I were to be a betting woman and reading between the lines, my guess is you're thinking that what I'm doing right now is defending Nicolina. Is that what you're thinking? Nick knows that she's done some things that I think are indefensible. She did all that shit when she and I didn't even get along. You want me to hold her responsible for things she did before I even really liked her? Well, I mean, I didn't dislike her. I just didn't know her. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me either. You're sitting here talking about we're having an adult conversation. Do you think that's an adult action? Oh, well, that person defended someone they liked, so let me just go after them. And by your standards, what does defending mean? I will say that I did see the irony and it made me chuckle a little bit that you suggested a book about how to spot a predator when you are all for digging into people's lives. By your own admission, I'm not like accusing you of anything. I just thought that was a little ironic. Right, Nick, that's what I was trying to ask. Because in my eyes, that's kind of the same thing. Because you really have no way of knowing who's going to get a hold of that address and who might show up at someone's house. I mean, we've all seen some crazy ass insane people on YouTube. We've all witnessed it. So I was just trying to see, like, kind of what her thoughts were on that. Hey, Mark. But one thing you need to understand about me, because I just said this not too long ago, is that people in my real life, if I have an issue or I need to talk to them about something because I value that friendship and that relationship, I want to make sure that when I confront someone, I'm doing it in a way that conveys the appreciation that I have. If I didn't care about someone, I'd be like, fuck you. I wouldn't even bother. So that's what I was saying. I am just not one that feels like everything has to be done wide open. Nick knows what I do and don't agree with. She already knows this. And I don't know how many times I have to say, Nick has said and done some horrible things. But as far as like just going down the list with bullet points, no, I have no interest in doing that for anybody. That's just not how I do things. So I don't understand why that's such a big issue that I don't do things the way you do. Little G. You're right. I haven't done anything to you, which is, I guess, why I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, all of that stuff is really super old too. And, it just happens whether people intend to do it or not. The game of telephone, right? It starts off at one end and it's a perfectly round ball. By the time it rolls across the universe and gets to where it lands, it's all misshapen and dented up and about 100 times bigger than it was in the beginning because it's just grown and spiraled into something else. But then, always, like anytime I talk about something, it always circles back around to the point of, does it really matter? I guess with people, kind of the way I handle things is after so much time has passed and I don't see that person like actively doing those things, I don't feel like it's of any great importance for me to keep harping on the same shit that's already been gone over 100 times, because it never gets anywhere. If it ever got to a point of completion and resolution, nobody would be talking about it anymore. I just happen to be of the opinion that with each new day, there's a whole new host of challenges that come along with it. Why stay stuck in the past? Oh, I thought you were talking about me drunk crying. I'm thinking, damn, I don't even drink. I mean, I've heard Ash cry before. I don't like to hear people cry. I don't. And I feel like, damn, if something's gotten to the point where people are crying on here, like, does that not make you have cause for pause to think maybe this shit's getting a little too deep? Now, if it's someone who's having just complete, total meltdowns every other day, then yeah, that's probably going to strike me as a little odd. But at some point, we have to dig in deep and muster up our humanity. This world is shitty enough without people having to go above and beyond the Call of Duty to be extra, extra shitty over nonsense. Complete nonsense. Okay, bye. I mean, I would let you up eventually, but I don't know. I'm not a big panel person either. That's very apparent on my channel. Rarely do I ever have anyone up. I am doing a panel tonight, though, if you guys want to join us. At Mr. T's, we are going to be doing some 80s trivia. And there's going to be some code words. Code words like paneling or orchid, maybe even banana. You never know. But if you remember those code words, then you will have a chance to win an instant prize. All you got to do is be the first one to give the correct answer. It's going to be lots of fun. Hello, Goya. Are we going to do a watch party? Oh, no. That's really all I got. I said everything I had to say, and I'm probably not ever going to talk about it again. So there won't be a response to the response. I'm done with it. Yeah. What else is going on? I saw where Nick Reiner is going to plead insanity. See, it's those things that really, really matter in this world. I think that there are so many bigger problems. Like, I don't ever see anyone fighting and bickering over, I'm not even going to say political because that just gets way too heated. Okay, but take his insanity defense. I know that people have opinions about that, but nobody ever wants to argue back and forth about things like that. They always want to argue about the things that matter most to people, like how they raise their family or how they act on here. When at the end of the day, we're all a character on here. There are those that come out just completely bearing their entire ass soul. But for the most part, we all have this little character shell that we've built around us. I have no interest in trying to break that down and expose anyone over stupid shit. It's just not my jam. Yes, could you imagine how the rest of the family would feel if all of that worked out the way he's hoping and he walks away scot-free, does some mental health stuff for a few years, and then gets the family fortune? I would have a really hard time reconciling that within myself to be able to welcome my sibling back with open arms. And I haven't watched a whole lot about what his state was before this happened. I know that he has battled addiction off and on since I think he was in his late teens, 17, I think. And he had been homeless at one point, and it has just been a horrific nightmare. So I do have some sympathy in that aspect because my brother-in-law, not my brother, was a recovering addict. When he was killed by a drunk driver, and I'm not a crime scene photographer, I never said I was. I did say that I went and took pictures of my own to help the case along with the district attorney because the 17-year-old drunk kid who ran him over and killed him, his family is well connected to our little small town, and he only got 90 days outpatient drug and alcohol counseling for killing someone. So that was pretty messed up. Thank you, Wiccan. What was said yesterday is wrong. I didn't take an online course. What I did say, however, is because of what happened to him, it inspired me to learn more about the whole crime scene kit and caboodle. Like, it involves taking pictures, measurements, fingerprints, all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. But you know what type issues like drug and alcohol can cause for people. There's no doubt in my mind that people go into weird psychosis, especially depending on the type drugs that they use. And I think that it is just a horrible, horrible situation to happen to this family. I mean, they had just left a Hanukkah celebration, and it's supposed to be a time for enjoying your loved ones. And then as parents, I can only imagine how difficult it was. They brought him with them that night because they didn't want to leave him home alone. So right out of the gate, it wasn't even like I'm so happy we're all spending time together. It was because their adult son couldn't be left home alone. I can't help but think that had maybe they just gone to their party and left him at home, that yes, it would have been devastating to come home and he had taken some money and left. Oh, thank you, Mark. Let me scroll up. I saw another one. I think it was Mark again. There was another one that snuck by me. But I'm sure it would have been devastating if they would have come home and he would have stolen some money or stolen a vehicle and left the house. All those things that you have to deal with when a loved one is suffering like that. But maybe had he done that, he wouldn't have been at the house and they might still be alive. There's always the what ifs, but there it was all part of a plan, a very tragic and unfortunate plan, but it's just another situation that should make you take a step back and not take 1 second for granted. And that is just kind of how I choose to live my life in every aspect. Don't sweat the small stuff. Save all your energy for the big stuff, the stuff that really matters. And if you are just super duper passionate about a cause, like protecting children and not wanting others to target children, why waste your energy and resources on just one person? There's a whole big bad YouTube world out there. It's just kind of like when you're doing true crime. You don't want to just stay stuck on one thing. I mean, I know a lot of people do. They want to see a case through from beginning to end. But at the same time, while you're in downtime, when there's no developments or no new incidents occurring, do you go out and look for new cases? Or do you just keep rehashing the same things over and over and over again? Me personally, I would go out and find new cases. That's just what I do, though. So, yeah, I hope this wasn't too boring for everyone and I didn't talk too slow. I hope it was a good momentum. Don't be afraid to think outside the box and go against the grain. We're not all going to agree on everything. That's just impossible and silly to even think that it is possible. And I would rather have a variety of people in my circle with different views and opinions. I don't want cookie cutter friendships or cookie cutter relationships. Because, like I said during my last live, people cross your paths for a reason. And don't be so full of yourself that you're not willing to open your eyes and your ears and your mind. Practice some of that progressive thinking. Read a book. If everyone's agreeing all the time, everything's going to be boring. Where's the fun in that? Nowhere. So I'm going to wrap this up. There's going to be a response coming. You can either come hang out and watch it with us, or you can go give her the view if you want. I'll go ahead and say hello to everyone in her chat. I hope you all have a Merry Christmas. Come hang out 9:15 on Mr. T's channel. I'm going to go come up with some questions. There might be some questions like about YouTube related things in there too. So I hope you've had your listening ears on. All right, I'm out of here. I'm going to go inside and bake something. Hope all of you have an amazing weekend. Hug your loved ones. You never know if tomorrow is going to come. Bye, motherfuckers.